I was like, oh my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah. Well, speaking of rock stars, Tim Campbell joining us. How you doing, brother?
Good. How are y'all doing?
Yeah. I can hear you, man. Yeah. So Freddie's like, listen, it's not a walrus, okay? It's a manatee, So yeah.
Toothless walrus.
How the hell are you, man?
I'm doing good. I heard you guys. Good thing you didn't go to the wedding because I always heard that weddings are the leading cause of ED.
Yeah. It's I'm like, well, really, it was the location, right? So they decided that, hey, we're going to do the wedding 714 miles on the other side of the lake, which might as well be that long because you got to go all the way around the lake to get there.
Right. There's no shortcut.
And then we're going to go the opposite direction downtown and have the reception. And I'm like, well, I can't do both. Okay, so
I got to tell you, I can tell you how this interview is going because Patty's already shaking her head at me.
Well, I thought it was important to get caught up with you, man. It seems like you had a pretty busy summer.
Oh my goodness, yeah. The band has just been swamped, and it's a good problem to have when you don't have to make phone calls or send out all the emails to all the venues.
Yeah.
That all you have to do is just answer the phone and answer emails, and your summer fills up.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, and let them promote you. Let them, push all the social media and stuff. I mean, that's a big change, to reach that level. I mean, I was thinking about this week when I talked about you being on the show, and I think we've kind of been there with you the whole course of the career there, and it really seems to be that. When you guys did the SAC Awards last year and you had a whole band up there, I was like, man, this is a rockin' ass band,
Yeah, and we've been kind of flying under the radar, and we've been getting better and better each year and putting pieces together, kind of swapping out pieces. But I think right now we just have the best mix that we've had since the band started 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So, it was really time to start breaking out. And this year, our bass player, we borrowed Beth. I'm going to call him Beth's husband, Dave.
Right? I mean, it's kind of a weird thing, but we all have grown used to it.
We didn't have our bass player, so thank God Dave Signs, filled in with us last year. But this year, we have a new bass player, Teresa Arnold, and she is amazing. And having a female in the band with those high harmonies, and mixed with our keyboard player and lead guitar player, and we have a percussionist in the band now. So it's the band has grown, and the venues that we've been playing up here in Virginia are getting bigger and better, and it's really been great. It's been a great ride with the band.
Well, that was
so looking forward to bringing them back to the showcase this year.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was one of the things we talked about a couple of years ago, is kind of developing that whole area up there around where you're at. I mean, there's a lot of cool places to play, and you shouldn't have to go all the way to Key West or Texas or wherever. You should have plenty of venues to play up there. You just got to build it up a little bit. It seems like that's working out well for you.
Yeah, like you say, our shows are getting bigger and better, and as far as us, expanding, being at the showcase last year, that got us in front of the parrot heads, and around the country, and that was a real big boost for us. Was playing the showcase last year. It was amazing.
Well, it's entertaining for sure. I mean, anything you're involved with is entertaining, and of course, we're bringing back the SAC Awards. I gotta send you some money for what's his name, Uncle Ezekiel.
No, Ezekiel.
Yeah.
Cousin Ezekiel.
Cousin Ezekiel.
Cousin.
Yeah. Yeah, he whittles those out with his own hands. He makes all those. So we'll send you some money for that. And since Tiki Man Radio is sponsoring the SAC Awards again this year, that's fantastic. And we're excited about having you guys for the summer party next summer here.
Yeah, we're excited.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I mean, you've been on this stage. So it's not the biggest stage, but Jonas Lawrence made it happen, with a drummer and everything else. So surely you guys can.
Well, we had when the band was a 5-piece band, we played this tiny little bar down in Tyson's that that our old keyboard player had set up, and that stage was about the size of a postage stamp.
Yeah.
And we squeezed 5 of us on there, and it had a railing on it. So we just, for our mic stands, we just bungeed them to the rail because there wasn't enough room to even set up a mic stand.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, none of these guys were part of the deal when we were at the Tiki House, but I mean, that was a small stage, which was fine when we were starting out. But then here comes John Beck with these steel pans, and I'm like, "Damn, John, I don't know where we're going to put you at, man. I guess we're going to put you here in the floor, you know." And but it worked out well.
That's the thing we're going to need now. We need to add a steel pan player to our band. I think that's what we're going to be shopping for next up here in the area.
Yeah. I've always been impressed by Steve Hopper being able to play guitar and steel pans. You know, I think that's a pretty good gift.
It's amazing.
Or even the guys that can play a harmonica and play a guitar at the same time.
Yeah.
Scott Kirby and folks like that.
Oh, I know. It's crazy.
Well, so the passing of Jimmy was a big deal for our whole community, basically. And but I think it's also I think the last thing he did was put a spotlight back on Key West, and so we're pretty excited that Key West is embracing Jimmy again, because there was a couple years there where the island wasn't embracing Jimmy like him, but I think him going down there and doing those concerts for the Key West locals, and now they're wanting to change the airport and do all this stuff. I mean, I think it's going to be really cool to be back in Key West.
Yeah, I think they felt kind of shunned by him for a few years, but yeah, going back to do those concerts really, I think it reconnected him with the folks down there in Key West, and I'm happy that you're anchoring this whole going back to Key West, and it's kind of made it. And my band is coming down, of course, to play the showcase this year. But we just got confirmed at Margaritaville on Wednesday and Thursday night from 8 to 11.
Oh, that's great.
Wow, that's where we're going to be playing. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
And we've got a lot of cool things that we're working on. We're testing out the ready rooms upstairs this year, where those are private events for you guys, where it only holds 25 people, but you got a bartender, you got a stage up there, all that stuff, and but you can charge whatever you want to at the door, kind of like the whole Sunset Cruise thing, but you don't have to float away and worry about the weather. You're in an air conditioning, so
yeah. And there's a real cool vibe up there too on those other bars at Rick's Complex. It's such a cool complex.
Yeah. So, and of course, being Mark Rossi as he is, he's like, so why don't we double that next year? Like somebody can do like 10 to midnight, and somebody can do 7 to 9, and I'm like, well, okay, the whole idea was to create something where you guys can make some money when you are in Key West, to help pay for expenses, pay band members and whatnot, and. We've worked real hard to make sure that everybody gets paid that's playing at the showcase now. So it's a big deal.
Yeah, and that makes a huge difference. And that's an evolution, too, of what it used to be, and everybody just running around town, guitars on their backs, just playing wherever they could get up on stage. And now, the expense of going down there is being offset, and it really helps. It really does. And it draws more musicians down to the event, so... It's all good. I love it.
Yeah. Why do we put that stage on Duval Street and close down Duval Street?
That's going to be amazing.
It's going to be nice. We got we're already working for things into the future, but we're pretty excited about it. So anything new as far as music-wise? Anything going on?
Just trying to squirrel away money into my piggy bank so I can go back to the same producer that did Something to Do with the Beer.
Yeah.
He did an absolutely amazing job on there.
Yeah.
And so I need to get back to Nashville and work with him. I think we're getting close. We're putting together the songs. Just need to get it on the schedule to go down there. And I believe that Drunken Publics, we're trying to get that one wrapped up.
Drunken Publics.
I love that. Yes.
I forgot about that one, Drunken Publics.
I love that one.
I've actually been there and done that, but
I'm delivering to Publix next week.
Are you? Yeah. Well, tell them they need reggae wines, okay?
I will.
Hopefully we can get Mike Anderson back to play Mike Honcho in the video.
Yeah.
They won't even know what it is as Publix in the West Coast at all.
Really?
No, there's no Publix.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Well,
They've
that's
never been to Florida, they know.
Yeah,
They
they
do.
sure as hell in Florida. They're all over the place in Florida. We didn't actually get Publix up here till about 5-6 years ago, something
No,
like that.
10 years ago.
10 years ago,
10,
yes, yeah.
15 maybe.
Yep, they're moving up
I think
along
we
the
have
East
our
Coast.
first one just opened up recently up here in Virginia. So
Yeah. I don't think it's been no 15 years, but
About 10. About 10 for
okay,
sure.
fine. Let's call it 10.
It's 10.
So, working with that producer in Nashville, I mean, do you, in your mind, like if there's a word like, I don't know, like shorts or something like that, do you like go over in your head and to before you even
Short.
consider going over there?
I will this time because I learned that I don't know how to say tourist, or nobody knows how to say tourist. We couldn't figure it out among the group I was pronounced tourist. And shorts, I put too many syllables in it apparently. Yeah. Next time I go down there, every word will be worked out.
Yeah, it was like a scene out of Cousin Vinny, where he's like, "Did you
Utes.
say Utes?
Utes.
What's a
It's
Ute?"
like, how many syllables? You're saying short. Short. So yeah, we probably spent an hour doing the vocals just trying to get the word shorts right. I still don't think I did it.
Funny.
It's like, we're almost there. That's just not quite right. But I would think, though, after going through that experience, which was a fantastic experience for you to work with somebody that knows what they're doing and is seeking perfection, if you will. But it also, I would think, mentally, if you're writing a tricky song, you got to make sure you got everything correct, right?
Oh, absolutely. And working with Kenny his name is Kenny Royster. He is a perfectionist, and through the entire vocals, he's like, okay, go, up, down on this note. He had it worked out way more detailed than I ever would have dreamed of. And he's a vocal coach too, and he worked with Luke Combs and folks like that. And so just having him, coach me through getting the vocals out of that song, I actually approached songwriting a little different after working with him because on the downbeat are the words you want to emphasize.
Sure.
So now you have to rearrange lines, not only to make it fit, to make it rhyme, but to get the emphasis on the words that you really want to put the emphasis on in every line. Mm-hmm. So it's a whole different way of seeing things.
Yeah, I would think that because every song tends to have what's considered the hook. And so you want to put a lot of emphasis on the hook in a different way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I thought, I didn't think I knew anything about songwriting until I started working with Darby too. Darby Ledbetter is an amazing songwriter.
Sure.
And working with him was one of the easiest experiences I've ever had. We kind of share a mind, and things just went so smooth. Putting together Heads in Paradise, one called Catching Up on Slowing Down, and Something to Do with a Beer. And it was a weekend of writing with him was a learning experience for me because he has his methodology and how we wrote one line, you sail with Captain Morgan in a hurricane. That was actually supposed to be in like Something to Do with a Beer, but he goes, let's take that line, let's set it aside, and we'll not put that in this song, and we'll build a song around that tomorrow.
Right.
So the next day we revisited that line and we came up with Heads in Paradise. So it was just amazing. Just the way his mind works is absolutely amazing.
That's interesting. I mean, had you ever thought about that before, or would you just kind of keep seeking that one song with that one line?
I would have just plowed through because I'm like, oh, this is a cool line. It fits good.
Yeah.
But for something he's like a genius with songwriting.
Sure.
He goes, no, I see something else for that. Let's save that line for later. But I'm like, but it's so cool,
Well, Darby and Kathy are such good friends of ours that we created a vacation for them every year that they can actually, they never had a vacation together till we started going on the Escape to Paradise. And this year we're going to the Dominican Republic. So we always love getting caught up with those guys when we get on some island somewhere.
Yeah, they're so much fun just to hang out with. So I miss those guys. I got to get down there.
Yeah. He's having fun down there. But in Panama City, right? Yeah, you moved to Panama City.
Yeah.
So the SAC Awards this year. Now, Dave Friedman has told me he's not coming to Key West, so this is going to fall on the shoulders of you and Patty, right? I'm sure you have this master plan.
Yes. We may seek out a co-host, and we had an idea, but bringing Patty in, I think, is a brilliant idea. We'll just get her a little liquored up, and it'll be hilarious.
Well, she
What
is.
could possibly go wrong?
Patty is a ray of sunshine, and if you put her in the spotlight, she's going to shine. So I'm not too worried about it.
And you put a tutu on her, and she just comes out of her shell.
Well, I like to say that our event in Key West is the only event that she's ever been to that nobody's trying to hit her in the head with something,
And that was Danny Rosado did that to her.
I know.
He picked up that Bose array system, and I don't know what, that ceiling fan was spinning like a B-17 pop. Knocked the top off of that thing. It flew across the room and hit Patty on the head.
I mean, what are the odds of that? I mean, it's like, man, you had to really design that. The fan had to be a certain angle to be able to make that happen.
Yeah. And, of course, I thought it was hilarious, but Erica Sunshine Lee just ran right in there and got right to her. The victim is here. That's
Yeah. Well, we take care of you, Patty. We ain't gonna let nobody hit you in the head at our event. That's for sure. We won't let anybody hit you in the head at our event. Yeah.
I couldn't sleep on that side of my head for a week.
Yeah, we were standing. I think we were at the old Smuggler's Whiskey place, and I think B-Man and Michelle were doing their Tuesday on the Island or something. I can't remember what it was, and it was hotter than the blazings of hell out there on the sidewalk. And I'm like, "What happened to your head?"
had a big old ice patch on it.
I had a big ice pack.
Yeah.
I had the biggest knot on my head.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Sucker hurt.
This head is hard as a coconut.
Well, you guys just recently celebrated anniversary, didn't you?
20?
20 years.
20
Wow.
years.
Wow.
Congratulations.
You said
they
that
said
like
it
a
would never
question,
last.
Tim.
My dad, my mom, my dad, her dad.
Yeah. So I saw the picture. Did you propose to her on a rock somewhere?
They did. I
Yeah.
love this story.
Yeah.
It's great.
Tell us that quick story right quick.
We were, we had this whole plan. We planned for months. She and I never once discussed ever getting married.
Yeah.
And so we were going to climb, in the middle of August, we're going up to climb Seneca Rocks in West Virginia. And the South Summit, it's about as wide as a sidewalk, and it just drops off hundreds of feet on both sides.
Right.
And it's multi-pitch, traditional rock climbing. And we had some friends come out there with us because they knew what was going on and they wanted to be there. And it starts raining, and Patty's like, maybe we should turn around and go ahead and bail. I'm like, failure is not an option.
Oh no, baby, we're in this together.
And I didn't want to carry the ring box in my pocket, so I was afraid if I dropped it and it falls 300 feet, we would never find it again. So I kept it in a backpack, a little pocket. And she's like, why are you wearing a backpack to lead climb? So I'm like, I'm just practicing my alpine style.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I ended up doing all the leads with a backpack on.
Wow.
Crazy.
It was
This
three,
is crazy.
3 pitches to get to the top.
So you didn't have a clue at all, Patty, what was going on, right?
No, had no idea.
Well, it's a lot of damn pressure to do something like that. I mean, because you may have not talked about it, but you've thought about it, right? And it's kind of tricky to figure out to do something a little bit out of the ordinary, but not seem like it's a little out of the ordinary. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was.
And I kind of wanted to kind of make it so she couldn't say no.
Yeah.
Because you're up there now.
Take her to the top of a rock on a string and go, say yes.
Yeah, if you say no, you're on your own, baby, getting off this rock. All right, yeah.
And then the adventure was just beginning because as we're heading down, there were 6 of us in our group, going, all those pitches. So as we're heading down, there's these other guys on this ledge, and it's getting dark. and only 3 of us had headlamps. So we did 8 of us doing, 2 rappels?
Oh my
2 long
gosh.
rappels off
Wow.
in the dark, with only 3 of us having headlamps.
Wow, that's
So
amazing.
The adventure just kept going.
Oh,
Wow.
Well, that's very cool. So, do you, we don't get into the whole specifics of everything, but do you have a busy week down there in Key West? You said Margaritaville, a couple days.
Yeah,
You've got
Wednesday night, Margaritaville. Thursday night, Margaritaville. We're doing some stuff with Andy Forsyth down there, and we have a pretty packed schedule.
Yeah, but
I'm-
we're so looking forward to your show and to the SAC Awards. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I can't believe we've been doing this 7 years now, and this will be our 7th year. And I'm glad that Andy and everybody else jumped on board to come back to Key West. It seems like there seems to be this little thing, that people are really starting to decide which way they're going to go. Are they going to go to Gulf Shores? They're going to come back to Key West, and I think it has a lot to do with the passing of Jimmy and all that stuff, So I think it's going to work out really well.
I think it's just a love for Key West too.
I do too.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, he went down to Captain Tony's. Tin Cup Chalice is about Mallory Square, and it's a woman going crazy on Caroline Street.
I know.
That's funny.
I was watching some of those videos of Delaney that she did during the pandemic, and those stories. I mean, I've heard the songs 100 times, and it's great to see them play them. But those stories of the backstory of this or that or whatever, and leading up to each individual song was priceless, man. I know they're so glad they did that.
Yeah, absolutely. And with Bubbles Up, the new song, I enjoyed the song, but then when he passed, and you find out that he was sick for so long, and then all the shows in Key West made sense, and Bubbles Up. So he had that chance to kind of wrap things up with his last album. So it's awesome that he had a chance to do that.
Yeah.
And now it's up to all the rest of us to keep the party going, and that's what we plan on doing. And we're going to have some fun with it. But Tim Campbell, Patty Campbell, we're looking forward to having you guys down to Key West. We're looking very forward to having you guys here next summer for the summer party. We've already
Can't
got.
wait for that.
Oh, that's
We already
Do
got.
we get the blue room or not?
No, you have a whole house.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, Golden's alluring adventure.
You got a whole house.
Yeah.
Thank you for putting us up there.
Yeah.
And thanks to
Thank
the
you,
Goldens
thank
for
you.
doing that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, we got it all squared away. Everything's ready to go. But we're glad to, and I'll tell you something, Tim, but we're going to let you go because we got Joey Wood coming up next. But you've come a long ways, and I think you have surrounded yourself with people that actually care about you and have guided you on this direction. And but don't ever underestimate the talent that you have, man. And we really appreciate who you are, not only as a friend, but the artist that you've become.
And I want to thank you, and a lot of that's because of you guys, because the SAC Awards is amazing to see it grow from that first show on Festivus to the second show on Festivus that more people wanted to be involved in. And then when you invited us to Key West, it has just exploded.
We
love it.
We had to do it. We had to do it. It was a divine intervention.
That was
We had to do
amazing
it.
in person.
But yeah. Well, all right. Real quick for people that 20 years from now are seeing this on YouTube, tell them how they can find your music and follow you and all that good stuff.
Well, I'm on Facebook. You can just, friend me as Tim Campbell, but Tim Campbell and the Tropical Attitudes Band is on Facebook, tropicalattitudesband.com online, and you can follow the band. And if you're ever in the mid-Atlantic area, come see us. Or if you want us, the band loves to travel. So we're coming to Chattanooga, Key West.
That's right.
Any events that want the Tropical Attitudes Band, I promise you won't be disappointed.
Well, there you go, man. Well, listen, we love you guys. We'll see you soon in Key West, and we're going to let you fly and get ready for Joey Wood coming up next, okay?
All right. Love you guys.
Bye,
too.
guys.
All right, man. Take it easy, brother.
Hey.